It's tough to say this, Brian. God bless Alai.
God bless Alai.
Another game day, another loss. This one blowed out by the Batard Renegades, 1.526. This one was a tough to watch one. I don't know if you saw any of it. I grinded tape. I'm still gathering all my analytics or analytics. I don't know which one's better. Analytics. But
it should be analytics because it almost feels like you're being punished anally by having to sit through watching these games.
That's not a Dan Le Batard frozen food mistake flub right there. That's fully intentional.
100% intentional.
Okay. Well, I was ready to eviscerate the team and the players because having watched it, like the energy was really low and they were just getting schooled in the first 4 matches where some of the players, it just didn't look like they were trying, but even watching it, you could tell for some of the players, they're just not 100%. And you can tell Correa, he can't throw it. People intentionally try to get, and players know it. They do. What are we trying to do? He's hurt, so he can't, he's not. And you just try to get Rebotes because you can tell that hurts his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And the way Correa is carrying himself out there, you can tell it's affecting his energy. Correa, Bradley, watching their 2 matches, very low energy, moving very slow, just negative body stuff that was tough to watch, where I was like, oh my goodness. I was tweeting about it. I was actually queuing up a draft tweet. I was calculating all these other things to just really light the team up. But then, you know what happens, Brian?
What's that?
Manny comes out onto the court. And you know what Manny does?
Only thing Manny knows how to do.
That's right. Manny battles. Manny freaking battles his butt off. And he carries Correa. He carries that team. 3 sets. They get the points, 1.5. Manny battles. And then we got Manu and Carballo, what's supposed to be our best team, going against, I think it was Go Cherry and Arats, which that's the best team in Highlight this season. Those guys are really freaking good. They battle.
I thought they were
in 3 sets.
I thought Carballo and Manu were playing some gamesmanship after that close first set, dropping the second set, 6-1. I was like, okay, I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. They're saving their energy for when it really matters. 6-4. I mean, it's admirable, it's respectable, but it's still a loss. Still a drop set.
Yeah, so at that point, I decided not to go off on the team because out of respect for Manny and what he did. I was impressed with it. Disappointed that Carballo and Manu couldn't pull off the upset there, but it just has me thinking: has ownership lost the team?
You know how I feel. I'm not. Listen, if you don't have nothing productive to say, then don't say it. So I'm at the point where I'm going to stand by and listen. 1-4 flat on you, baby. Clear out. I'm gonna take my guy over to the corner and I'm gonna let you work. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, last week I messaged Chris Cody asking about Mike Fuentes. Is this guy gone or is he not? Because I don't know, and he should be gone. Because if he's the head of scouting and this is the team he put together, which is suffering because of injuries, and if you listen to our podcast last week, I asked CRB, has the league figured out the Cesta Cyclones? And you know what he said? Going as far back as draft day, he was wondering, why are they drafting all these guys? Correa's hurt. Bradley hasn't made it through a season. They've got Carballo's got all these injuries too, but he's played through them, right? So CRB pointed it out. These guys are hurt. That's a lot of injured guys. And we just have guys that they can't go. Maybe if they were healthy, they'd be better. But this was the first time where I was watching them, Brian, where the body language that I saw, it feels like some of the guys we've lost for the season, that they've, I don't know, stopped believing in themselves.
Checked out.
I sent a message to Mike Ryan and Chris Cody, sending them some of my analytics, saying Flores he's rushing it. He's got to let the game come to him. Bradley, I said, Bradley, some people catch and some people kill. We drafted Bradley to be a killer. His kill rate's too low. He's got to get it up. He's got to throw more kill shots. No word from Chris Cody. Mike Ryan responded. He said what he said on the show. He said, well, Bradley has a wrist injury. That's why his power's been lacking. Big game. And I told him it's a big game. Best of luck. But the team did not play like it's a big game. And this Friday, this upcoming matchup, this is kind of like the show said it, right? They've already said like, oh, this is our Waterloo or whatever. This is their literal Waterloo. This is their final stand. Third place, which is where you need to get to make the playoffs. And anybody knows if you make it to the Battle Corps playoffs, anything can happen, Brian. Everybody says that. Just make it to the playoffs. Anything can happen, right? Well, third place is still reachable. This Friday is the exact midpoint of the season. Okay. When we play the Devils, we'll have played every single team this season twice, and we'll play every single team this season twice for the rest of the time. If we can't come away with a game day win, then it's time to start talking about packing it in and securing the number 1 draft pick for next season. And I've already done some advanced scouting on some guys. We got to look at Groka and Johan, brothers, playing in France and Spain, American born, so we don't have to get a visa for them. Mike, Chris, Groka, and Johan. Get them over here for next season of Battle Court if we can't get it together and turn this season around.
I get that you want someone's head on the chopping block, and that person is always going to be Mike Fuentes at this point.
Oh,
but
Brian, I'll get there. But the reason I'm still not going after ownership is, one, I'm grinding tape, and what the tape is showing is what Chris Cody is saying. Catch the pelota. Drop rate is very high compared to other teams.
And if Ezekiel Elliott successfully blocked the man when he was a center, they could have a different result. And if Bill Bradley didn't drop the ball, we could have had it. You can go to any sport anywhere and go to the most basic, mundane responsibility of them and ask them to just do it 100% of the time and have a completely different result. I get that. That's not my point. My point is, you claim Mike Fuentes, head of scouting, yet I'm pretty sure they weren't looking towards him to make these decisions on draft night in terms of him being the final say. You yourself have quoted Mike Ryan in saying CRB wasn't where?
He was on his do not draft. But maybe,
exactly. No, don't do that. Don't do the,
maybe
Mike Fuentes gave
that. Maybe the Soups know. I'll see if maybe you can give the Soups a little scoop.
Listen.
Scoop.
Occam's razor, all right? Occam's razor.
Oh, I thought you were gonna then describe what is the Occam's razor in this situation, Brian. What is the simplest explanation here?
That Mike Ryan, Chris Cody, Mike Fuentes, and everyone else involved did a piss poor job of picking good players. They were emotional with the ones that they shouldn't have been. They were trusting in those that they shouldn't have been. And they got to take it. I don't want to hear, well, if this worked, the players aren't going to get healthier. That's not how this works. This is a long season, a grueling season, emotionally and physically. They're not going to, Bradley's wrist ain't going to all of a sudden get healthy while he's in the middle of playing. It's just not going to happen. And as they continue to slide, I don't know if you can call it a slide if you've always been at the bottom of the hill, but as they can't find their footing to climb that hill to third place, I I don't see it even if they magically get to the postseason. That's not a true statement. Anything can happen. Yes, anything can happen, right? The Giants could have won the Super Bowl this past season, but we know they weren't. Just stop. We know they weren't. We know they weren't. Anything could happen, but let's be realistic, right? Success, opportunity meets preparation. They don't have the opportunity. It's fading. They have a little bit, but they don't currently have the opportunity because they're not showing they have the opportunity. And their preparation is poor. At some point, why are we giving them the benefit of the doubt? Why?
Because of 2 seasons of success. And this season isn't over yet. It's not time yet because the team hasn't been healthy. That's clearly affecting them. We can get there, but I don't think we're there yet. This Friday is our Battle of Hastings, Brian. This is our turning point, right? This is our Battle of Agincourt, right? You know, I think it's maybe our Battle of Zama.
And what I'm saying was that was 3 weeks ago.
Could be our Gettysburg. Okay, we got to win this to turn the tide.
Listen.
If we don't, then it's time to advance and talk about
Mike Fuentes,
players.
According to you.
No, we move it up the chain from here. First off, Mike Fuentes better be gone. Unmitigated disaster. But we start moving it up the chain from here, right? If we do not win our Battle of Guadalcanal,
Alamo. Why didn't you say the Alamo? That's the good old favorite one.
If we're not successful in this upcoming Friday's match and get this win, like the Battle of Lexington and Concord, then it's time to start really breaking it down and getting down in the nitty of gritty and just start shifting to season 4. And what do we need to do to fix it? We're not there yet, Brian. They could still pull us out. They could still make the playoffs.
Your lack of convincing faith puts me in this position. When the Cyclones don't make it to that 3rd spot to reach the playoffs, you need to deliver for all of our God Bless Highlight fans. You grittying. You talking about nitty and gritty. I want to see you gritty when this team falls on its already fallen betrothed face. I don't even know. That doesn't even make sense, but it makes sense. And this team doesn't make sense.
They're pledged to be wed, Brian.
At this point, they're playing to be dead. All right. This Cyclone, more like a motherfucking afternoon drizzle.
Drizzling it. And you know it.
Get low. Just stay low. I didn't know what it was.
Shut up. Keep your freaking mouth shut.
Not yet, Brian. For now, the Cesta Cyclone haters need to
shut up.
Even him. Rest in peace, Bobby Caldwell.
Are we going to explain that? I don't know who Bobby Caldwell is, but we'll cut it. Bobby Caldwell.
Just uncultured.
Oh, yeah. Who's Bobby Caldwell?
Bobby Caldwell? The soul singing, I was to wonder where I've been. I think.
If it's not a prospect who plays at Saint Jean something in France, Brian, I don't know it right now.
What you won't do, you try everything, and Nate still won't.
Yeah. All right. We're done.
God bless Highland.